When I came out to my ma as bi, she was just like, God, even the cats are gay.
Oh my god.
My name's Lee and I identify as queer and non-binary.
My name's Xavier and I also identify as queer and non-binary. Queer to me, I use queer because I don't have a specific label for my sexuality. So I just, I say I'm queer. And then non-binary is having a gender identity that falls outside of the male-female binary.
When did you first realise you were non-binary?
I don't know, it's kind of a complicated process for me because I started experiencing gender dysphoria when I hit puberty. Well, there's kind of different forms of dysphoria. There's gender dysphoria, which is feeling discomfort with the gender you were assigned at birth. Then there can be body dysphoria, which is feeling discomfort with the kind of sex characteristics that you have. There's social dysphoria, which is feeling like uncomfortable with how people perceive you and your gender. I didn't know much about non-binary identities, so I was like, oh, if I feel this way, I must be a trans man. And I kind of stuck with that for a few years, but that still didn't really sit right with me. I learned more about non-binary identities and it's like, oh, that's how I feel.
I just have never felt like I fit into any kind of gender boxes. I've never wanted to be restricted in that way. I always dress how I feel. I always dress in what I feel looks good, and nothing holds a gender for me anymore.
I'll wear whatever.
Yeah,
I could go from
exactly.
wearing like a sparkly sequin dress to like a tracksuit. I don't care.
Just whatever's comfortable and whatever looks good.
Have you come out to queer to your friends and family, and how did they react?
I haven't come out to the older generations in my family. With my younger brother and sibling, I've come out to, and we just kind of share that experience of gender is weird and we really don't know what to do with it.
I'm out to my parents and my siblings, but not kind of other members of the family. And to my parents, I'm only out as trans because I feel like that's vaguer and that they won't really understand what it is to be non-binary.
I have to tiptoe around people. I have to sit. I have to figure out if they're the kind of people that I can tell, please use these pronouns with me.
There's also the everyday kind of things, filling out forms and it's like, oh, select your gender, it's just male or female.
Yeah.
People always either assume that your pronouns are he or she, and it's always one or the other for me. I could go from one shop and the cashier would be like, oh, how are you, miss? And then I go into the next one and it's like, oh, what's happening, lad? And I'm like...
People want to debate it even though they don't understand it. I think people just like to be right and people like their worldview to be the right one. But no one's worldview is going to be the perfect worldview.
It does get tiring, constantly being a topic up for debate.
Yeah.
As if we're not people, really. We're debated as if we're not actual humans with actual human feelings, and that's the worst part. I realised my identity around age 11 or 12, and then being in an all-girls school up until I was 16 and left to do A-levels elsewhere, that was just hell for me because it was just constant misgendering. Everyone was referred to as ladies
and girls.
Yeah, I had to wear a skirt. I had no other option.
Everyone in my class was like, oh no, I wouldn't get changed. I would not get changed in the changing rooms if I knew there was a lesbian in this class. I'm like, all right.
Rumours went around quite a bit that I was a lesbian. And I got, a bit of taunting for that. Even though that's the furthest thing from my identity. But
exactly. If you were in front of those people now and they gave you the chance just to talk and they would hear you out, what would you want to get through to them?
Ooh. It's a bit of a tough question. I mean, I feel like if I was in that situation, I'd panic at first.
Same. I would take a heart attack.
Yeah. But at the time they probably thought it was a joke and they were having a laugh, but it did really affect me and it really brought my confidence down, and that's something that I'm still trying to fix.
Yeah.
So I would just encourage them to be more mindful and to be kinder, and if they don't understand anything, that it's okay to ask questions.
I would like people to just know me for me. and be okay with that. And for me to be okay with them, I think it's a better world to be in. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.